Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Value Max, and today I'm bringing you another updated video on XLM, doing a little price analysis as to what can we expect to happen next. Now, we had this little sell-off over the weekend. What does this mean for cryptocurrencies and more importantly for altcoin? And what are the recent news that will impact XLM in a positive way? Coming ahead of this. So guys, if you don't want to miss any of that important news and any important update related to XLM, make sure you subscribe and comment your thought below so you don't miss any of that important stuff. So let's go straight into it. What happened with XLM? Now, before we can understand what happened with XLM, I just want to quickly recap what was happening before. Now, the coin had its first massive runoff in 20th of November. Now, in the November, we had this first bull run which led to a new high of 0.22, and that was followed obviously by some consolidation and some corrections until we reached actually January 2nd, and that led to a massive second bull run that actually led to a new high again of 0.4 ish, and then we had some correction consolidation where the bears took the upper hand and took the price down. Now, what's important from these levels is we have similar pattern because that leads to the final bull run, which we had basically from 28th of Jan all the way till 13, 14 of Feb, where we had a new high of 0.60. That's important to understand because we are currently experiencing a similar behavior, and this I will explain why it's important to understand. Because guys, as we see, basically what happened is when we entered 13th of Feb, we had these correction, and like I talked about in my previous video, we could see that we were basically stuck in this trading pattern between 0.46 ish all the way to 0.34, and we were testing it, and overall the volumes were quite low if you compare the differences in volume, which was quite healthy because it means we were actually getting more stability. And what was important from that stability is actually that at the end we actually managed to break out that trading pattern to reach a new high, and that led to a new run, and that led us to a new high of 0.69 cent. Like I said, I believe that XLM will reach $1 towards end of April, coming beginning of May, because of this pattern. Now, once we reached 0.69, that was before the weekend, and as we entered the weekend, we had this sell-off. What's nice and really good news for XLM is when we had this sell-off, we actually managed to stay within the previous trading pattern of 0.46. And actually, what's very important is we see that we've been trading literally into that trading pattern since then. And what's good is that actually, which is good news for XLM, is that we're making higher lows consistently, but we're also making higher highs, and that's an actual bullish a bullish expectation for XLM, because it means that we can expect XLM to break through that trading pattern to reach a new one, and to break through that resistance level to break to a new all-time high. Now, I believe that as long as we stay in this resistance, it's very healthy, and we can expect the price, and I'll explain why based on the news, so make sure you stay so you don't miss out all of these important news. But basically, if we manage to stay here for a while, that's very good, and then we can expect the price to actually reach back to 0.69, and after then we will be able to reach a new all-time high. And what's very funny is if we look back in time, we see that we've actually experienced a very similar behavior back when we were actually in this scenario. So this scenario has already happened and it's very repetitive. So it's very good news because we learn from previous behavior. So I'm very bullish that XLM will pass that resistance line, go enter new highs, and hopefully reach the $1 valuation by the end of April, beginning of May. Now, why, you will say, well, we've talked about the roadmap, but they have very exciting stuff. And we'll go in each and every one detail of all of them, starting with the first one, and that is no other than Grayscale. Now, Grayscale has around 44.9 billion US dollars in under asset management, which just shows that it's a big whale in cryptocurrencies. And as we can see, actually, Grayscales actually holds XLM, and that's a very good news for us because it shows that they believe in the project. And we can see that they actually have a Stellar Lumen. They actually have 34.2, and that's huge because it just shows that it is supported by a big institution. As long as we have that support, we can actually confirm to ourselves that the project is actually backed up by a big institution, and in my opinion, too big to fail. So not to worry about. So another article which was very interesting is that actually when we look at this, is Venmo users can now buy and sell Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. That was a very good news for CNBC, for cryptocurrency as a whole, that CNBC talked about, excuse me, because this will overall lead to the acceptance movement of using cryptocurrencies, but overall the acceptance movement of using XLM. And that will bring exposure to XLM users and Stellar Lumen and to the network as a whole. So overall, very positive. Now, PayPal is a huge company, and the fact that that Venmo users can now buy and sell Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies is an amazing news. Now, another amazing news is that WeWork is accepting crypto as a form of payment. Now, WeWork is the co-living shared space office sharing. If you don't know about it, it's a very big company, and WeWork said Coinbase will be its first member company to use cryptocurrencies as a payment for its membership, and that's amazing because we all know that actually Coinbase started as a startup and they were clients of WeWork, and it's amazing to see that WeWork is also evolving and being part of that movement towards acceptance of cryptocurrencies. And that's another very good news for XLM because as we see more companies accepting cryptocurrencies as a form of payment, we will see much bigger scalability, growth overall for cryptocurrencies, for the big whales, and but even for the altcoins, including XLM and others. So this is very good news for XLM. Another one which I wanted to talk about is the cryptocurrencies giant Binance US hires former top bank regulator. That was also very good news because it shows that actually even the government is slowly moving towards acceptance of cryptocurrencies. And as we can see, a former top U.S. banking regulator is set to join Binance US, one of the world's biggest Bitcoin exchange, in the latest move by a cryptocurrency company to deepen its tie to Washington. So this is very good to see this movement of acceptance towards cryptocurrencies, and overall very good news for XLM. Now, we talked about this one previously, but it's important to mention it again. Acon's co-founder explained how 6 billion futuristic Acon City will work. This is amazing news if that the project will go through, because not only we are solving a problem with the Stellar network for Africa as a whole to allow a stable coin that will be used because they have problems such as hyperinflation in a lot of them and corruption. So this would be an amazing solution for a lot of these countries and will overall lead towards this movement of acceptance towards XLM. So very good news coming for XLM ahead of this. We are going through a bit of a shakeup and corrections, but it shouldn't stop you to believe that XLM is a bad altcoin because XLM has a lot to offer in the long run. So very good news in terms of what we can expect to happen with Acon and the Stellar Lumen project. Another one, which is that could the EU use Stellar Lumen to issue its CBDC? That's an amazing potential news that could happen. And very, very bullish is that recent developments on the possible issuance of central bank digital currency by the European Union. And according to statement by the president of the central bank, of the European Central Bank, Christine Lagarde, a decision on the project will be made by mid-year. But basically, they are even thinking about using Stellar's feature to use basically as the central bank of Europe, which would be insane in terms of exposure for Stellar Lumen and will drive the price parabolic. So this will be very interesting how that will move on. Of course, nothing has been yet confirmed, but there are very good news and rumors that we can expect to go into positive for Lumen. This was 2 weeks ago, but very, very important to mention. Now, finally, I want to move on with one news which I talked about already, but Franklin Templeton, guys, which is one of the world's largest asset management with over 1.4 trillion under asset management, will issue a new fund on Stellar blockchain. This is amazing because not only do we have Grayscale adding XLM to their portfolio, we now have Franklin Templeton actually issuing a new fund on the Stellar blockchain. This is against the movement towards acceptance and the movement towards growth for XLM. So very good news as to what we can expect for the coin to happen in the future. I'm very bullish and and I am not worried that we have actually had some sell off and the bears taking the upper hand. It's normal that after every bull run you have some corrections, and that's what we are currently experiencing now. So I am very bullish, and I remain bullish as with the future of XLM. And if you guys are too, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment your thought below. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to let me know in the comments, and I'll make sure to catch you in the next video. See you next time. Bye.